Coming up, remembered as hard-working and a trusted partner, law enforcement from around the country pay respect to a Vermont state trooper. And a sigh of relief in one local town as a missing woman is found safe and unharmed. Plus, the city of New York comes to a virtual standstill. Thousands turn out to see Pope Francis.
From WVNY, this is Local 22 News at 11 in high definition.
The Green Mountain State honors one of their own with flags at half-staff. Tonight, a fallen trooper is laid to rest. Good evening, I'm Alex Rose. 28-year-old Vermont State Trooper Kyle Young received full military honors today. Friends who spoke at the funeral say now they live for him. Here's Local 22's Stacy DeSilva.
A difficult day for so many here in Brownville. 28-year-old Kyle Young now laid to rest.
State police have also set up a GoFundMe account for the Young's family. At last check, it was more than $19,000. If you want to get involved, we've posted a link on the story that's at our website, mychamplainvalley.com. A former UVM professor found alive and well. After a more than 24-hour search, 68-year-old Susan Hazazi has dementia. Now, to start the day, 24 search and rescuers scoured trails near her home off of Elias Way. Canines also helped. Just after 1 this afternoon, searchers heard a cry for help. Hazazi was found in a wooded area off of Route 100, less than half a mile from her home.
It was an area that was searched yesterday, so we're pretty confident she was not there. In fact, could find some tracks that were leading into the area. So we're still not sure exactly her entire route of travel, but she was definitely moving about during the night.
The state says more than half of those missing with dementia are found less than a mile from where they went missing. As for Hazazi, she was transported to Central Vermont Hospital for evaluation. Continuing coverage tonight on prison escapee David Sweat as his lawyers work to negotiate a plea deal with Clinton County District Attorney. Sweat's attorney says the hope is to settle the case without an expensive trial. He had been scheduled for a court appearance next week. That's been postponed. Joyce Mitchell admitted to helping Sweat and Richard Matt escape from Clinton Correctional in June. Speaking of Joyce Mitchell, she had a visitor today ahead of her sentencing on Monday. New York's Inspector General Catherine Leahy Scott interviewed the ex-prison worker as part of her large-scale investigation into the prison break of David Sweat and Richard Matt. The sheriff says Leahy Scott's has visited Mitchell several times, in fact. Mitchell must cooperate with investigators as part of her plea deal. The sheriff says there have been no problems with Mitchell so far.
I mean, obviously through all the media coverage and stuff, they know who she is, and she appears to be handling that fairly well. She hasn't caused any disruption. She hasn't had any major issues. She's been socializing well with the other people that are incarcerated in the facility.
Mitchell faces up to 7 years in prison for promoting prison contraband and criminal facilitation. In health matters, police will take your old unused prescription drugs tomorrow, no questions asked. It's National Drug Take-Back Day. New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire are all taking part. Local police will set up anonymous drop-off locations where you can leave your medications free of charge. To find a place near you, we've posted a link on our website. That's mychamplainvalley.com. Now, a bird in Grafton County, New Hampshire, tested positive for West Nile virus. The state health department says it was found in the town of Holderness. It's a reminder to keep using bug spray and try to stay indoors at dusk and dawn. There is still a risk of mosquito-borne illnesses until the first frost. Now, during Pope Francis's third day in America, New York City practically was shut down. It was a busy day for the pontiff. He started the day by saying a prayer for peace at the 9/11 Memorial and touring Ground Zero. He then visited with school children in East Harlem. Later in the day, the Pope said Mass in Madison Square Garden with around 20,000 attendees. The Pope will arrive in Philadelphia tomorrow morning. It is his last stop on his visit to the U.S. Andy Mahalchik details how the city of brotherly love is getting ready for the papal visit.
Center City, Philadelphia was virtually shut down Friday.
Tomorrow, Pope Francis will say Mass at the Cathedral Basilica of St. Peter and Paul, then visit Independence Mall, where 40,000 are expected to attend. In education matters, a $100,000 grant could be heading to Burlington High School. Science teacher Molly Heath is a finalist for the Lawrence W. O'Toole Award from the Nellie Mae Education Foundation. Heath says she is the only teacher to be nominated this year. If she wins, the money would benefit the entire student body.
What we would like to use the money for is to implement a restorative justice panel in our school, as well as develop thematic academies for 11th and 12th grade students so they can more personalize and focus their instruction in an area they're really interested in as they become upperclassmen.
The grant is given every year to an individual, organization, or school in New England working to advance student-centered approaches to learning. Voting ends October 30th. He says the turmoil became too much. Coming up, why House Speaker John Boehner is giving up his gavel. And can you brave the shave? People get a spur-of-the-moment haircut to support local charity.
You're watching local news that matters